Appreciate it. Welcome everybody, thank you. I will be reading off my phone, so forgive me. I'd like to start off by saying how grateful I am to be able to speak in front of all of you today. The past 2 years I've attended and worked during the Tucson show for Mr. Tom Schneider at the Pueblo show. And during that time I've been in awe of the people in this room and the community of Lapidaries that comes together for this event each year and makes the Tucson Gem Show a larger-than-life experience. I believe a significant amount of that magic comes from the faceting community that built the industry once upon a time. During this talk, I'll be walking you through the development of the Lapidary, discussing the advantages of polishing gemstones with wood, and letting you know what to expect from my company this year. First, though, I'd like to introduce you to myself. Formally, my name is Noah Trappier. I'm from Indianapolis. I've been faceting gemstones for 3 years and currently serve as the USFG's webmaster. I also recently began my journey as a jeweler. My main priority during the course of my career is to open the door for as many people as possible who want to pursue faceting and eventually the lapidary jewelry art as a whole. Learning to facet gemstones changed my life entirely, and it is a gift to be able to share that with others. Next to that, my goals and my ambitions are to be a master lapidarist and jeweler. We'll get into more detail about how Wood Lab serves those goals as well. I must introduce you also to the man behind the man, so to speak, over there with the camera, my amazing partner, Justin Highmore. Not only can I speak on his tremendous character and kindness, but he is also the most resourceful and solution-driven person I've ever met. I taught him to facet gemstones, he taught me how to work wood, and the progress we've made developing Wood Lab LLC is a testament to both our dedication to innovation and the dedication we have to our community of Wood Lab users. When we began developing Wood Lab as a uniquely handmade tool, our initial projection was actually to launch this business to you at this year's show. Now, almost a year in operation, it seems natural for progression to take its own path. I think that is because Wood Labs are exciting. As a gem cutter, they've been a lifesaver, and it should have come as no surprise that they would soon be the talk of the town. My story with Wood Labs began during the late summer of 2023. I was lucky to connect parasocially with a formidable character in the faceting community from the UK, from Farrington. His willingness to share his decision-making in the stone-cutting process allowed me to advance as I started to design my own gemstones. I also started to consider new tools to employ to finish them. Ken told me about antique mahogany tables, probably from Honduran or even Cuban mahogany, that would be disassembled and repurposed as vertical or grooved flat laps. Followed would be swaths of before and after photos in our messages, showing the sheer power he achieved with wood tools and the stones he brought to them. I was convinced thoroughly to eventually try polishing with a wood lab. My former woodworking experience being a rather shabby flower box from 4-H as a kid. My partner Justin quickly sawed a thick round disc with a half-inch center hole from poplar wood and brought it to me while I was cutting a Nigerian rubelite. At the time, I had tried many polishing laps, less a few that exceeded my budget. I took every facet of that stone to the wood lab, and the results were equally as satisfying as a creator as they were a purveyor of fine-cut gemstones. The brilliant facets on the crown spliced together with a gentle rounding almost resembling a stitch cushion, and the stepped pavilion barely rounded at the edges, polished quickly and beautifully. Arguably most impressive is the Wood Lab's ability to polish tables with unique ease, and the stone had a wide table. What followed can be referred to as my spiral down the wooden rabbit hole. I did extensive research into the natural habits of wood and the differences between the species we have available. While lignum vitae and genuine mahogany were historically referenced most in connection with gemstone polishing, it became clear these wouldn't be a sustainable offering. I shopped 5 local lumber suppliers until one became a clear winner, with consistent, diverse inventory of only top-quality kiln-dried woods, and that had served the local community for over 60 years. I bought at least 12 species to make multiple test labs from. Making these test labs pushed us to decide how to best produce them. This process was, I think, the best experience of true teamwork paying off. Justin's extensive knowledge of woodworking allowed us to problem solve our way to creating excellent tools. The biggest lesson out of this period I constantly repeat to myself is try everything, because that's what it took for us to now have far greater efficiency. I found plugs that would serve to protect the top of the lap when you're mounting into the machine, and protect the center of the lap from the rotating spindle. Now I had a less clunky set of wood laps to test out. My goals during this process were to understand what makes each type of wood different, understand the extent of the role that size plays, whether it was 6 or 8 inches, and to select the laps with the best overall application, result, and sustainability. I used primarily large freeforms of quartz and topaz to best observe results. I lubricated each lap with WD-40 and charged them independently with cerium, alumina, tin oxides, as well as diamond for powder. I then timed my results on low speed, polishing each facet with each preparation, noting anything else about the experience. As a whole, the wood laps polished with speed, consistency, and ease. The porous nature of the wood allows the polish to seep into the grain, maximizing its use. And for those with singly charged laps, even more so. Wood is also incredibly forgiving. I don't know about you, but I can still hear the sound of stones that have accidentally slipped or dropped on the lap, potentially damaging both the stone and the lap beyond repair. First, the wood lap is a reversible tool, and second, gouges can be removed, and the wood lap will live to polish another stone. The wood lap is also affordable, a very important consideration for us, and leaves lapidaries with more money to buy rough with. These were the broad findings from this period. This testing became the driving data behind the initial collection we launched in March of last year. That lineup included cedar, oak, walnut, African mahogany, purple heart, and afromosa. Soon after our launch, I received a message from Justin Prim expressing interest in what we were doing. He was kind enough to include me in a video on wood laps that helped to bring our product into the public awareness. I'm beyond grateful for the ways he helped us grow, especially during those first days. Mr. Harrington in the UK also gave us high acclaim, and now currently trains the students using our labs. Several of our early adopters also deserve credit for their help in spreading the word about Woodlab LLC, including Jeffrey Hill, Marianne de la Sala, and Dan Lynch, to name a few. My partner, Justin, and I have continued refining our manufacturing process, upgrading equipment, and taking time to get the best resulting products. We released 2 additional species, maple and jatoba, the former being great for soft and included stones, and the latter being the hardest slab we have, best resistant to impact over time. We've made a number of other additions to our product offering. The dual band engraving allows users to have a clear mark to separate their diamond grits while polishing using our 8-inch laps. The grooved mahogany laps come with 3 hand-cut grooves to polish different sized cabochons and buff tops. Expanding from the lap itself, we began producing Purple Heart dot sticks, recently made available for pre-order 8 unique Purple Heart stone setting tools, as well as mahogany polishing mandrels for gemstone carving and jewelry polishing. In the spirit of expanding our offering, we are also developing handheld and machine-mounted V-wheels for fantasy cutters that will be available for purchase later this year. These tools reflect our advancement as woodworkers, in addition to the innovative power from the community of jewelers and lapidaries. People can also expect more tutorial videos released this year, demonstrating how to get the most out of your woodlab products. The through line of this whole experience so far has been the vitality of community and collaboration. To be honest, I'm not a terribly competitive person at heart. What I enjoy and what I find befitting of my talents is working with others to achieve collaborative goals. It is these individual encounters and requests that have driven and guided our development and continue to shape our future. Because no matter what, that future will be rooted in organic, community-driven innovation. I would like to thank everybody once again for not only listening to me, but allowing me to make Woodlab LLC a priority in my career. The experience has nestled me in a community that I truly want to be a part of, and in a position fitting with my interests and aspirations. Woodlabs and woodlab products are currently being used all over the globe, and I'm beyond excited to continue bringing our products and tools to anyone that may assist. Thank you all for your time, and I'll take any questions.
You got any samples here?
And not right now, but we will be here on Saturday night with the table set up to sell. And we also online sales.
Are they separate labs or is it like a topper system?
They're all separate labs. They're 1 inch complete labs, yeah.
And what grades do you have them in?
So you actually charge them all separately. They can be charged with all outside or diamond polishes as well.
So are the different densities of wood better for different types of gemstones?
So all wood is fairly good at polishing gemstones, but it does depend on what you're using them for. So if you're using tougher gemstones and smaller gemstones, the harder that can be good over time to maintain that flatness. If you're working with softer stones or more heat-sensitive stones, our softer labs like the nasal cedar can be really good for keeping the stone safe while you're polishing.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there any type of like warping or like water damage that occurs to the lap from using water or snake oil or different types of lubricants?
So we have our recommended lubricants, which WD-40, and there's also an eco-lube we have listed that's non-toxic. Those are penetrative oils that don't raise the grain. So dry flat, they should maintain their flatness. We also have had good experience with people mounting them, adhering them to a master lap, which we'll talk more demonstrating videos on this year. Yes,
Do you have any samples?
we will on Saturday night at the Hot Mom. Yes, sir.
Have you ever used this one like that?
No, I'm not. It's harder to get sustainably. Sorry, one more time.
It has a natural oil.
Yeah. No, it definitely is most historically referenced, but it's not super sustainable to offer to people on a wider scale. So that was really important that we be able to offer it to whoever we want. Yes, sir.
So what are your plans for the wood species for your fantasy? Are they going to be just the maple or are they going to be your range?
It'll depend, and we'll send a few for testing for our feathers that requested them. And it is what will hold up the best over time. Our mahogany is incredible, it's our best seller, so we'll select one of those and then probably our denser woods as well. So,
My question is you were saying it's renewable there. Is it something that you have to keep purchasing labs or do you sand it? Is there like a recommendation of sanding?
yeah, so there's a whole resurfacing process laid out in the user guide where you can sand it and get a pretty much brand new surface. They're also reversible, so you can charge each side independently. But if you stick with the same polish and the same hardness of gemstones, then you should be able to repeat it over and over again. Yes, ma'am.
Where do you get your mahogany?
We have a distributor in Indianapolis. It's African mahogany, which is a more sustainable species. It has a natural crossbreed to it that also makes it effective polishing. All of our woods are from the same producer based on Yes, ma'am.
Do different woods work better with different polishing compounds?
Not in our experience.
Okay.
They're all pretty standard, and it's more about kind of the state of the wood over time. That makes it to make a difference.
How much testing have you done? You said you're getting mandrels for carving.
So we have a fantasy cutters that requested them that'll help us do the majority of our testing because I don't do fantasy on my own.
Right. Not the fantasy, but didn't you say that you just had like
Polishing mandrels, yeah. We have handheld mandrels that you can mount onto a Dremel or a Fordham.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so those are our mahogany. We sell sets of those in sets of two, so you can charge them for gemstone carving in different grid patterns.
And those are available right now?
Those are available for pre-order, so about 30 days we have them, yes.
Actually, one of those laps is going to be given away as one of the door prizes here
We have an 8-inch
at
flat
the,
and a
at the
16
end of his presentation, so you might be the lucky winner of that. I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
And I've recently begun my journey of putting rounded girdles on stones. I've always been a faceted girdle person, so that's a little bit new to me. And I was actually told that the wooden laps are a great lap to use in that journey. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for a lot of master cutters, their main use of the wood lap in history is for tables and girdles. It is the troublesome table and the troublesome girdle that they'll take every stone to. So that's why we also release our top sticks, because they can use by hand and take a round girdling really, really quickly within a matter of seconds, a whole girdle.
So you just charge it with diamond?
Diamond, you can diamond. People also use it for pre-polish, so like 13,000 up to 100,000, and then cerium oxide's also really efficient. Depending on the material you're working with, of course.
If you were going to recommend one wood, or like one to start trying, what would you say and why would you recommend it?
Our best seller is the mahogany, and throughout time it's just been a favorite. It's lightweight, easy to use, very versatile, and it is the only one with kind of a unique cross-grain feature where the grain moves in two different directions, and I believe that makes the process a lot faster. So,
Like, does it hold the grid better?
yeah, and well, they all hold well, really
Yeah,
well, because
yeah.
the grain is going to seep the polish really well, but especially well for everything. Yeah, the mahogany, and then we also cover cedar is the introductory, is the most affordable one, made out of cedar. That's also a great sort of.
Is there a special procedure for charging a new lap?
Yeah. So your choice of lubricant, WD-40 penetrative oil. Some people use snake oil, but it can get a little messier on the surface. The WD is very clean. Completely coating it, not soaking it, but it's lubricant enough, and then charging it with whatever compound.
Like a powder, right?
You can also use spray. People like to spray
Okay.
with the polishing sticks too. So really, whatever you're most familiar with. Yes, ma'am.
What's your price point versus your competitors?
Well, polishing mats can be very expensive. And our most expensive one, I believe, is
05.
one of 145 for our group's 8-inch lab.
Right.
That's our most expensive lab. So, and our cheapest one starts at $35. And we plan on keeping it that way too. Yes, sir.
How does a wood lap compare to other laps where like your harder stones like sapphire and like moissanite?
So we've actually found that the labs are really efficient in polishing hard stones, including sapphire, rutile, moissanite. It is a different polish experience per se than, let's say, a ceramic or a bad lab. But charging it is very similar. You don't have to score it, so you can, the lap is already prepared to kind of accept the polish you're going to charge it with. But it works really efficiently. You may see subtle rounding, especially on facets that are close together in angle and index. But the further apart you have them, the more subtle that rounding can be. So, does that answer your question?
And on the other end, what about something like turquoise or something like a problem because it's very soft?
Well, and especially with opals too, I say, as long as you're keeping track of heat buildup, because especially with felt leather's all natural and all glass, to make sure that heat buildup doesn't take it past the point of the stone's capability. So opal, you need to be very careful that the lap is very well lubricated and running very smoothly, but wood is extremely forgiving on sensitive and fragile stones.
Could it possibly replace, say, charging a felt with cerium and to get more precision, I guess?
Absolutely, and especially for use over and over again. Felt laps are fantastic, but you gotta get more and more of them over time. So this is kind of, if you take care of it, and there are instructions with every lap sold about how to best take care of it, you can achieve those same results over and over again. Anybody else have any questions? Well, I'll be around and I'll be here again for the hop knot. We'll be selling.
Don't leave yet.
Okay.
Come up front, okay?
Okay. Thank you guys for